So personal development is a crucial and essential part of what we do in network marketing, right? It's an essential component to our success in this profession. So the question is, what are you reading? Hey guys, Ronnie Cruz here with another episode of Dream Builders Club. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about why you need to do personal development, and I'm not going to discuss that. I think if you spend any time in this in network marketing, spend any time in this profession, you already know that personal development is incredibly important. If your upline or if your sponsor isn't talking about it, then somebody in your upline is talking about it. So I'm not going to. That's like beating a dead horse. I'm not going to go into that. But what I did want to do in this episode is kind of give you guys a real life illustration of just how it works, like how important and how it plays out, the importance of why we need to be very mindful of what goes in here. Recently, I've been really reflecting on my business, kind of taking stock of where it is, where I am, and what I'm doing. And just to kind of backtrack, I'm an avid reader. I read multiple hours a day, partly because there's not much to do here on the mountain and the internet's really slow, but also because I've developed a thirst for it, right? Like the more I've learned over the years, the more I've learned how much I don't know, right? I guess it's saying I suck at sayings. But I've really again developed the tremendous curiosity and hunger for more knowledge. You know what I mean? Like there's so much to be discovered in this world, and as my role has shifted in my business, as it shifted from kind of the day-to-day building to the mentor, counselor, or coach role, I've really kind of had to feed myself more of stuff like that, like leadership, conflict resolution. Really kind of learning more about how people work and what drives them, and really dove into books of how to become a better person, gaining perspective, books about compassion, things like that. I've really dove into stuff like that, and it's really helped me in my role as a counselor, as a mentor, as a coach. But recently I got to thinking, well, like I've done all these activities over the years, and my role really has just been mainly focused on being the mentor. That I realized just out of the blue that I haven't been doing the day-to-day stuff. I haven't been doing the everyday building. You know what I mean? Like the meeting new people, inviting new people, doing presentations, sponsoring new people into my business, sponsoring new customers into my business. I haven't been doing any of that, and so I had to think, well, why haven't I done that? I'm a top leader. I know how to do it. So why haven't I done that? And so the correlation that I've made is the conclusion that I've come to is that there is a direct correlation between what I was programming, what programming I was putting into my CPU. And the results that I was getting out, right? Like all these last 3, 4, 5 years, I've been putting in all the stuff of how to become a better person, so that I can become a better mentor, and I hadn't really been putting in any actual network marketing training. And mind you, I've pretty much memorized all the audio that I have as far as network marketing goes. I've read and reread all the books, so it's all in there. But it wasn't constantly being kind of put on the forefront of my mind, right? And so that's the results I was getting. Yes, I've become a great coach, and my business was expanding, and I was helping people to step up into leadership roles. But I had completely neglected sponsoring new people into my business, and because it wasn't being put up here, so I realized, well, I got to put that back in there if I want to sponsor more people, right? Like if I want to get back into that day-to-day of expanding my network and growing my business in that regard, I gotta put network marketing back into the rotation on my playlist. And so that's what I've done. Again, you never arrive in this business. Yes, I have attained a certain level of success, but I always want to push and you know, take myself to the next level, right? I always want to improve myself, and part of that then is getting back into, well, you know, like what I was missing. Like I've never arrogant enough to think that I know it all already, right? So I've gotten back into listening to network marketing trainings and to reading network marketing books, because that's been missing this whole time, and that's what's been, and because it's been missing in the programming, it's been missing out here, right? So it's been kind of a really fun kind of rediscovery for me, and in this rediscovery, I've actually found podcasts. I've gotten really into podcasts. I was never into listening to podcasts in the past, but because of this kind of discovery that I'm in right now, I've found some great ones, and I've really developed a love for podcasts. Partly because of my friend Dr. Mike. I love you, Dr. Mike. Really just started getting into his podcast, and it's not network marketing involved, but he provides a tremendous amount of valuable insight and information on his podcast. So make sure you go listen to that. It's What Up Doc University podcast. But in terms of network marketing, because of I found podcasting or podcasts, listening to podcasts through Dr. Mike. Long story. I started looking for network marketing stuff, and I found a really good one that I really like, and I'm going to start doing this in these episodes, like sharing resources with you that I use and that I listen to and that I really like. This one in particular, and there's a lot of podcasts out there on network marketing, but this one in particular, I really like this individual's perspective. I like where he's coming from, and I like how he shares his insights. It's the podcast is called Network Marketing Mastery by Matt Hall. Matt Hall, and you know, I don't know the guy. I've never met him. I've never talked to him, but I love, and I get nothing out of promoting his podcast. But again, I love his perspective. I love how he shares. I love his insights that he shares with us on the podcast. So if you guys are into podcasts, find him. Again, it's Network Marketing Mastery by Matt Hall. I listen to it as often as I can. When there's new episodes, especially, he comes out with new content all the time. So find that, include that into your network marketing training, and as I said, continue with what personal development you have and what personal development books and stuff that you're learning right now. But my advice is always have some sort of network marketing programming going into here. That way it's on the forefront of your mind, and that's the results that you're going to get. So always have some sort of MLM, some sort of network marketing training in your earbuds. That's the advice I have for you today. Okay? All right. So yeah, that's it for this episode, guys. Tune in next time. We'll have another episode released here in a couple days. So yeah, I'll catch you guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe, to like this episode, pass it on, share it with people if you find it of value. And in the meantime, yeah, keep on keeping on. We'll catch you next time, guys. It's Ronnie Cruz signing out. Peace.